Welcome back to Call of Cthulhu. I am in trouble.
What the hell was...
This Chandler's a painting. Irene doesn't seem to know what she hates the most, Sarah Hawkins or her work. The fact remains that she accuses her of costing her husband's sanity. He apparently gouged his eyes out under the influence of the painting. I must see it. The key to the gallery is probably in the office. Well, now what?
I can't even touch it.
Like I suspected, it's pretty dumb.
No way out. No choice. I must get rid of it.
I have an idea. Remember that dagger that I couldn't pick up? Perhaps if I can grab it, use it on the painting, put an end to this thing.
There has to be a link.
Burn it!
Maybe if I destroy it.
Really not helping me here, game.
Damn. I could try tearing the painting with this thing. Damn it! This dagger didn't work.
And I'm dead.
What the hell was that?
Why? Ugh. This could take a while.
What the hell was that?
You know this already. It's the bad thing.
What the hell was that?
Okay, I have no idea what I'm doing.
Damn. Maybe I can use this dagger.
I have a feeling I need to at least try to stab the dagger. Stab the dagger? Stab the painting first. Come on, go away. Go away. Go away. Can't hide here anymore. Shit. Fighting again. And I'm dead again. God damn it.
What the hell was that? Damn. Maybe I can use this dagger. Oh, God.
Well, you suck.
What the hell was that?
Of course. I think I may know what to do. I need to find the right dagger. That one. Come on. Is this it? No. No. Let's go faster. Let's go this time. Come on. So good. Shit. Oh shit. Yes.
Damn. This dagger looks different.
Gotcha, you son of a bitch. Stab it again.
You sure you won't be needing that hand? You're
I
losing
don't
it, Detective. At this rate, you're right. The bottle will get you before I do.
You didn't see anything.
I saw you within an inch of putting a dagger through your forearm. Did I miss something more interesting?
Possibly.
It's nothing. I think I just drank too much.
That goes without saying. If you can't tell the difference between reality and fiction, then you're in real trouble.
Well, no shit.
I ran, screamed, broke a pane of glass. You were in the next room and you didn't hear a thing.
If I hadn't heard a thing, I'd still be in the other room. The door was blocked. I got in as soon as I could. I like to look after my goods.
Big part.
You mean me?
Don't flatter yourself, sweetheart. I'm talking about the contents of this gallery. And by the way, where do you think you're going with that dagger?
It saved my life. It's an extraordinary dagger.
You should talk to Algernon Drake. He's an antique dealer here on Darkwater. He'll tell you all about it. From what I saw in the ledgers, it was him who sold it to Sanders.
It's not your style to give me free information like that.
Take it as payment for being my canary. A simple trade-off. Now go see your antique seller. I've still got things to settle with Irene.
Canary, huh? So now she knows that this thing is dangerous, is what she's saying. Chandler turned out to be much more than an artwork painted by Sarah Hawkins as a huge creature came out of the painting to attack Pierce. After a hard fight, the detective managed to descend back into the painting. He later discovered the dagger he used to repel the creature had been sold to Sanders by a man named Algernon Drake, owner of the Nameless Bookstore. Pierce decides to pay the library a visit. Well, that was fun. Uh-oh. It would seem that I didn't get here first.
Where is the bookseller?
Well, look how dark it is outside. Oh, never mind. Maybe it's not as dark as I thought. I'm always doing that. Sanders residence. This exceptional dagger of Ottoman origin probably dates from the 16th century. It bears the elder sign on its hilt. It apparently belonged to Pragili Ibrahim Pasha, Grand Vizier of the court of Suleiman of the Magnificent. Legend tells that Pelia used the symbol on the dagger to protect the court from a creature that haunted the mirrors of the palace. What is certain is that Suleiman had his visor executed. Did he fear him after this demonstration of power? Dear, oh dear. The painting was exposed in Francis Sanders' gallery, but I think that the creature no longer requires it for movement. It went to hunt down Sanders in the cellars of the Riverside Institute. I do not know where it came from, but one thing is for sure, it's starving. Did I succeed in sending it back to its world? I'm not sure. You probably should have finished the damn thing off.
An old diary.
Pastor declared himself to be a prophet. He renounced God and worshipped a strange pagan entity with a monstrous appearance. His wife tried to reason with her husband, but in vain. He was convinced that he must listen to the voice in his head because it holds the truth. Volume 4, huh? Could probably find more medical books around here. A Puritan colony led by Reverend John Wickwood settled on this island during the 17th century. They named the island Darkwater because of the dark shades of the sea. They believed it was because of the peculiar color of the rocks surrounding the island. They erected the first buildings, among which were the Hawkins Manor, the church, and the cemetery. The rare documents and handwritten notes they left spoke of nightmares and deviant behaviors. They disappeared at the beginning of the 18th century. Be careful I don't start the main part of the quest here. I got a feeling there's a lot to learn. Aha, yes. As precise and illustrated with as much detail as the first volume, this book focuses on healing surgery specific to malformations and motor disorders. Just one more, I think. Aha! Even a few years back, it was possible for a single practitioner to know all the medical knowledge of this time. This book, which concludes the series, shows that this is now virtually impossible. About 10 renowned doctors took part in putting together this collection. How is that not enough? I hope there's a new game plus sort of thing. Darkwater history. In the 19th century, as the American whaling industry reached its peak in the rest of the world, whales gradually disappeared from the waters surrounding Darkwater. This phenomenon appears even more mysterious because up till then the region was a favored refuge for cetaceans. In 1847, after months of pursuit, the Cilia returns to port with a gigantic creature on board. Its crew asserts that the sea monster had eaten all the disappeared whales. After a night of fierce combat, the survivors managed to drag the beast onto the whaling ship. As I suspected, 'twas no whale at all, and they knew it.
What happened here?
Time to reconstruct.
Let's start over. Where did they break in from?
Obviously here.
Blood. Seems like amateur work.
Seriously. Use a rock or something. Could you punch it?
Someone tall left this footprint. A man, probably. No sign of struggle. If the burglar smashed this jar, it wasn't intentionally. Was he hurt then?
Perhaps burglary wasn't what he was after. Wasn't what he was doing. Perhaps he was seeking aid.
What sort of thief leaves his tools at the crime scene? What killed all these animals? What happened that made the burglar flee before finishing his work?
The Elder Sign.
What the... Charles Hawkins? What's happening to Hawkins? What sort of power did Sarah Hawkins' painting possess? Sarah Hawkins helped hide something in this safe. Drake put in a great deal of effort to hide whatever is in here. Everything is linked to the Sarah Hawkins case.
Make sure I didn't miss anything. What?
Arkham editions. Never heard of him.
Azathoth and Other Horrors.
How many volumes are there in this collection?
Isis Unveiled. A book of esoteric philosophy and a key text in Madame Blavatsky's Theosophical Movement, written by Helen Blavatsky. This finds part of the Arkham mythology, a luxurious collection of treatises and works on esotericism and the supernatural.
Another volume by Arkham Editions.
A book of spells supposedly written by the legendary King Solomon. It contains various rituals of invocation and rituals of curse. A re-edition by Claudia D. Waits based on L.W. D. Lawrence's original. This volume is part of the Arkham mythology, yada yada yada.
Arkham Editions. Never heard of him.
Massa di Requiem per Shoghe. Opera in 18th century by Benevicio Chieti Vat. An infamous lyrical work published in Italy in 1768. It is said that the opera was performed only once, resulting in an audience riot that left several dead and missing.
How many volumes are there in this collection?
The Prophecies, a collection of long-term astrological predictions written in verse, written by Nostradamus, translated by E. Leone and Theophilus Whitebridge. I didn't really look at this one, did I?
Another volume by Arkham Editions.
By collection of poems by Edward Pickman Derby. Also known as the Nightmare Lyrics, this collection of poems was sensationally received when first published in 1908. Derby was only 18 years old.
Arkham editions. Never heard of him.
Corpus Heractium, written by Hermes Trice, translated and edited by Nathaniel M. Copius. This collection of texts on different beliefs was written by a legendary philosopher. It includes a translation of the Emerald Tablet, a popular text among 16th century alchemists.
How many volumes are there in this collection?
A lot. Aurea Linda, an ancient Frisian manuscript translated by William R. Sandbach. The text claims that in the distant past, Europe and other continents were controlled by the mothers of this people, and moreover, that our alphabet is derived from it, the Frisian language.
Another volume by Arkham Editions.
Things That Should Not Be, a collection of essays on American folklore and urban legends written by Albert Wilmarth, professor at Miskatonic University.
Is everyone on this island taking sleeping pills?
Seems that way.
What link did he find between Charles Hawkins and an old amulet?
This key that bears the Elder Sign is the only one able to protect your psyche. It is in the form of a cylindrical medallion hanging at the end of a heavy chain. Hundreds of years ago, the star and the branch, whose purpose is to push back the forces of the great old ones, were engraved at its center. Everything points to it being Charles Hawkins that tore it from its last owner, an Egyptian antique dealer. In press cuttings that mention the misdemeanor, the date of the robbery coincides with the last of Hawkins' trips to Cairo. It remains to be seen whether he knows of the true purpose of the artifact. Try to find it. I'm sorry, what was it called? Key of Rayleigh file? Oh dear. Now has it leveled up? It has. Fantastic.
Drake left instructions on how to find the combination of his safe.
The page seems to be hidden here. It is possible to read. If someone finds these memoirs, there will be no doubt that I am in serious trouble. My last and only hope is that my body and bones are still in this plane of reality in order that they be recovered and burned. The funeral honor must be given to my dear mother if she is still of this world. The following message is of capital importance. Whoever reads these lines and demonstrates acuity as sharp as mine can hope to gain access to my most precious possession. It lies within my safe, and the clues to the combination can be found in 3 cylinders, each hidden where life and study combine in the Greek world. Each cylinder is numbered, even if, as the celebrated author says, order is the pleasure of reason, but disorder is the delight of the imagination. Indeed, despite my preference for organized chaos, I must admit that reason usually prevails in the end. If by chance a person, or should I say a genius, was to match my intellect and find the combination of the safe, I would ask that they deliver its contents into the safekeeping of my friend and colleague, Professor Artemidge of Miskatonic University. The contents of this safe is not only a vast digest of knowledge, but also a weapon that is far too dangerous for it to fall into the wrong hands. I hope that you will be able to appreciate the danger that this represents, and that you will act accordingly in any event. I will neither be there to guide you nor to suffer for your actions, from your actions rather. Professor Artemidge was in the Dunwich Horror. Three cylinders, huh?
Cylinders that Drake tried to hide. I should perhaps listen to them.
One's missing.
The Book of Zion is the foundational work behind Helena Blavatsky's theosophical movement. Its followers place truth on the same footing as a religion.
These Tibetan writings are at the origin of the esoteric movement founded by Helena Blavatsky at the end of the 19th century. The creator of Theosophy would have drawn extensively on the text of this work, but no one has ever been able to consult them. I thought they didn't exist. This book, discovered in the nameless bookstore in Darkwater, could be as much a fake as irrefutable proof of Blavatsy's sincerity.
Kind of chalice.
This goblet seems to be very ancient. It seems to be made of gold and decorated with real precious stone. Do the rubies and sapphires make up a specific motif? It's very nice, whatever it is.
Things are not looking good.
Oh, I do have all three. Okay, then.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
I am going a little over time here, aren't I?
I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny. Dear friend, I thank you again for the anthology of the works of Arkham editions that you sent me. Volume 9, Azathoth and Other Horrors, seemed particularly relevant to my research. I never tire of browsing through them. And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of
The chalice of knowledge.
1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know how. Wait. This will be able to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, there
Grail
are 5
does not
on
protect
there.
me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets.
5, 3 or 4 actually. Couldn't tell. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait. 1, 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Five. Three. No? No? Shit, wrong button. Huh.
The Queen has little protection.
Six, 7, 8.
And these red drops, like precious stones, lie fixed, set in divine gold. To be the guardian of the Grail does not protect me from its attractions, Henry. And I do confess it. I am willing to pay to know its secrets. I finally understood that we were only pieces on the chessboard of the gods. Let those of us who are still standing protect our White Queen from their dark soldiers. I see our number dwindling, and my will strengthens as my apprehension grows. We shall refuse to be the playthings of destiny.
Okay, I'm gonna have to call it a video here. I am the Blues 32. This is Call of Cthulhu. TTFN. Ta-ta for now.